Check, check. Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, everybody? Peter Igloo, welcome to the stream, brother. Good to have you. Um, how's everybody doing? Great question. How is everybody today? I've made a few changes. I've actually moved my setup into a different room. It's smaller. I think the echo is reduced. Um, new changes are getting set up now. Um, I think this is probably going to be the last stream I do with my web camera because I just got a new camera, much better, and I'm gonna hook that up maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping to have everything set up the way that I want it, or at least very close, before Monday, which is May 4th, where I'm hoping to do a live stream, Starcasters, Star Wars podcast. Behind me, here, I want to put up some panels. This is a different room. It looks the same as the last one, but there's some work being done. Got an overhead light like blasting me right now to see if it makes the lighting any better. I don't know that it does. Maybe it does. All right. There's not a whole lot of like gaming news to react to based on what I was seeing. Let's take a look here. And it's not always gaming news I react to. I do all kinds of stuff. Xbox is rolling out its new logo to consoles. Let's just have a look at this and see what we think. I need to get a new stream layout, stream overlay. Maybe that's something I'll do. Maybe that's something I'll knock out on Sunday. Whoop, wrong thing. Here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Is this it? Is this the new logo? This is the same thing. It's just green. Dynamic backgrounds, profile backgrounds, and gamer pics. Kermit the Frog here. I never watched that show growing up, so I only vaguely know what that puppet is supposed to sound like from like parody videos and stuff like that. Forgive me for the yawn. I've been working very, very hard this week. Oh, damn, there's some news. Assassin's Creed Hex developer loses 50 developers. Hold on. Like they left or like they've been taken off the project? Is this AI generated is that from an AC teaser? It's crazy that I can't tell. The decision to scale back 50 developers on Assassin's Creed Hex came back last week, just a couple days after the announcement that an unannounced project named Altera had also been Oh! That's not good. They've been moved from Hex to Ubisoft Interproject team. They're not assigned to a project. Secure a project within a 3-month period or they could face redundancy. That's not good. Man, what is up with all these developers like firing people en masse? Several more Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Another remake codenamed Invictus. Okay, so does Hex just suck? Is that what we're looking at? Like, I think that's a very real possibility. Like, I always hate to see developers getting moved or laid off or stuff. That always sucks. It's not great. You never want to see somebody losing their jobs. But I think we need to open ourselves to the possibility. I mean, look at the last games we've been getting released in the last decade. We've been getting a lot of not great games. A lot of not great games. So after we finish a game, a lot of us are like, man, some people need to be fired. But then when the people do get fired, we feel bad. Rightly so. You know, you don't want anybody to lose their job. You just want them to make better content. But I hate that for them. But why would that happen? Obviously Ubisoft sucks. We're not arguing that. But like, maybe this game really did. Maybe this game just isn't looking that good. And Ubisoft or shareholders took a look at it and said, this is not great. Holy Roman Empire during the witch trials. This integrates in the Assassin's Creed Infinity Hub platform. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to be honest with you. That looks terrible. I don't want to play as a witch during the witch trials fleeing the Holy Roman Empire. I want to play as the Holy Roman Empire hunting witches. What are we doing here? Okay, you see, I'm speculating that could be the reason 50 developers were moved off the project because the game probably just is not. It's probably just really lame. The hub. Schreier also noted that the game would likely not release until 2024 at the earliest. Oh, well, that's been delayed. Is this game even coming out? Creative director and Darby McDevitt. What did he work on? What's he done? Oh, wow. He worked on a bunch of Assassin's Creeds. Who's that other one? Clint Hawking? What have you worked on? Okay, so that's all you've worked on here. Is this game even still in development? It was announced in 2022? Damn. That's a long time ago, guys. I don't know if this is still coming out. There's a reason why Clair Obscur exists. I mean, yes, but elaborate on that for me. Like, what do you mean by that? What's the connect? Dude, this game, this is not in development anymore. They're completely redoing the combat with a lot of acrobatic moves. They hired a contortionist for the mocap. Ezio was planned to come in halfway through the game to teach the main character the ways of the assassin. This is seemingly the game many at Ubisoft Montreal want to work on. Holiday 2027. Big part of witch hunts happened long after Ezio. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Super Canadian Performance. Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome, welcome. We're just hanging out, reading some news, reading about Assassin's Creed Hex right now. Apparently 50 developers got canned, or not canned, but moved off the project. And I'm wondering, I think it's probably coming out. They probably moved these people because the game is like nearly done, right? Haven't played it as much as I want. Should I finish it? Ubisoft members are leaving in droves due to internal moral collapse and lackluster results. That could be it, but it also could be that really could be it. But I think it's possible that the game is just almost done. If the game is just basically complete, and then you have a bunch of people who are like, well, we don't have anything to work on, it might make sense to move them over and be like, okay, start pitching projects. But 3 months that's not enough time for a solid pitch. That's crazy. I think, but 3 months is also a long time to pay people for no work getting done. But work is getting done because they're conceptualizing pitches. I would say 4 at least. 3 is crazy, dog. It would take 3 months to get the pitch ready. Like a 4th month would help. Yet to finish it. It's currently one of my favorite games. I got to near the end of chapter 1 and I kind of fell off of it. Playing Assassin's Creed, never played this one. Is this a new one? Yeah, Assassin's Creed Hex got announced back in 2022 and then just fell off the radar. And now people are getting like removed from the project and we're wondering what's going on. I would not play, I'll be honest, I would not play this no matter what. I have no interest in playing as a witch in Germany. That concept does not appeal to me at all. But I'm sure there's people out there who would be up for that. It sounds like they would enjoy that. That's not a me game, though. I'm more interested in this 50 developers getting removed from the project thing. Crazy. Also, we were talking about Xbox's new logo, and it's just the same thing. I thought that they showed this to be like, this is the old logo, because it looks the same, dog. Like, what are you talking about? You made it green? Like, it looks slightly... you've got the color scheme of the OG logo back, but, like, the old logo looked better. Like, the original, the OG Xbox logo looked better. So what other games do I enjoy? I'm a huge fan of FPS games. I like hack and slash. I like RPGs. Hey, yo, Goji Jerry, welcome to the channel. Thank you for becoming a member, brother. That is awesome. Much, much, much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the member-only content I've got up right now. Currently, I do members-only live streams, which I was supposed to do. That's what this was supposed to be today, but I wanted to check in with the general audience. And probably this weekend, I'm going to do a members-only stream. I'm going to do... There's a plethora of members-only content already up. There's going to be more film reviews, members-only in the future. It's good stuff. I hope you enjoy. It looks cooler, but it's still the same logo, but just 3D. You think this one looks cooler or the old one looks cooler? Because I think the old one looks a lot cooler. I think this one looks a little bit like unfinished. I feel like this was a logo that would have been proposed back with the original logo, and they would have chosen the other one because it looked better. I've been watching your stuff for a while. I love your stuff, man. Thanks so much, Goji Gary. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. I am active on my member. I'm trying to put out even more members-only content and Patreon stuff, and... yeah. What was I saying? So what other games do I enjoy? Hack and slash, third-person shooters. What have I been playing? I'm really looking forward to... we got... Damn, yeah, Peter.
23 months is crazy.
23 months is crazy, dog. That is wild. Yeah, you've been every time because I think once every 2 or 3 months I have to go back in for my end credit screen and remove people who have stopped being members and add people who have started being members for the end credits. Your name is always there. I've gotten to the point where I get your name and I just like skim. I'm like, yeah, he's there. I can always count on homie. I'll make sure I become a member, but I'm not doing it yet. You can do whatever you want, man. You don't have to. The vast majority of my content is just on YouTube for free, man. Like, if you want to become a member, it's just to support me. It's to support the content I make. It's because you like the video game stuff. That's the main reason to do it. Performance comes first, revs engine. That's right. Activates turbo, hits the NOS. I'm definitely looking forward to 007 First Light. I'm planning on probably streaming the whole game if I can get away with it. And I will probably do a review. I'm tossing up right now. I think I'm pretty sure that I'm going to wait until after I've reviewed First Light and then maybe resume the Bond games. I have not decided if I'm doing that yet. They're pretty tough, man. They're getting harder. I think Nightfire was the hardest one to do, but Everything or Nothing was tough as well. You're an Xbox One fan? There's some good games on Xbox One. I think Xbox One has some decent games. It's weird. Like back in the day, it's been such I mean, I do exclusively PC now. I mean, I have a PS4, but I rarely play it. Used to play PS, but changed to Xbox. The more I see gameplay, the more excited I get. First Light is the best hands it could possibly be in. Yeah, dude, this looks like the first, like, I've said this before. I said it on a stream, actually. I said it on a stream that I think First Light looks like the first game I've seen that feels genuinely AAA. Like, actually, like I see it and I'm like, now that's AAA gaming. And what I mean by that is functionality. Versatility, diversity. I mean diversity of gameplay, by the way. Because you have games that just look ultra detailed. It's like you can see the pores within the pores, and you can see the individual skin cells like shedding off of a person in real time. It's like, but then it's just a shooter. It plays like a game that you would have played on the Xbox 360. Sometimes worse, honestly. Like, a lot of the newer Call of Duties play worse than like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops. So it just plays like a game you would have played then with a slide mechanic added. And then the AAA moniker just comes from the fact that they agonized and spent $100 million on hyper detailing every pixel. It's not AAA. It's just another. It just feels like any other game. It just looks super pretty. That's it. But when I see First Light, I'm like, this is crazy. This has this is like AAA. You know what I'm saying? So I have high hopes for it. I look forward to more live stream, just chatting about games. Yeah, dude. I try to live stream as much as I can. Hopefully more. Never really been an Xbox fan. You were raised on Nintendo and PC. Nintendo is the one I have so little experience. I've always said to myself, you know, if I run out of games to talk about, I can just start farming Nintendo games because I know nothing about them. And coming from such a fresh perspective, could be cool. Went from PS2 to PS3 to Xbox One to PS5. I went from PS1 to PS2 and Xbox, like back and forth. Then I was purely Xbox 360 for a while. Then I got a PS3 and I played some exclusives, but I really just played my Xbox 360. Then I got a PS4 and that was my main thing for a while. I mainly just played PS4. Then I got an Xbox One and I played a few games, but didn't really have any exclusives. Then I built a PC and I haven't really looked back. I skipped out on the PS5, Xbox Series, whatever. I'll tell you what they need to do is they need to change the name of their next console because Xbox Series S or whatever, it just sucks. First Light has vast potential. I definitely agree. I think huge Game of the Year contender. I think that what they're trying to do with First Light could easily franchise very quickly. I know that Xbox One games are coming to Nintendo. Oh, dude, yeah, they've been porting Xbox and PlayStation games to the Switch for a while. Been keeping up with news on First Light. Should I check it out? It's up to you. If you're already sold on the concept, you might just want to buy it and play it so that you minimize the amount of like cool sequences and stuff because every time they post something, it's just, wow, this looks even better and better, but you are like spoiling cool set pieces for yourself. So if you're sold on it, and I think you should be, just buy it and experience it for the first time and spoil as little as you can. You just bought Jedi Academy last night. It's now available on the PS Store and has trophies. You're not trying to platinum it? Yo, that's sick, man. That would be a game worth platinuming. It doesn't have trophies or anything like that on Steam, unfortunately, or I probably would have because it's not platinuming on Steam. It's 100%ing, but platinuming is just such a good verb for that. So I totally get why people use it even with Steam. But I platinumed Jedi Power Battles, and that was kind of fun. That was, I mean, it was tumultuous and torturous at the time, but looking back, I'm like, that was fun. Some people think the PlayStation has better graphics than the Xbox One. You can even play PlayStation and Xbox together called crossplay. That is a thing you can do now. For a long time, console wars aren't really a thing anymore. I feel like brand loyalty in general has kind of died because back in the early 2000s, like it was almost an aesthetic choice. It was a fashion thing. Like some people wear Gucci or some people wear Prada. Consoles were like that for like nerds. So like owning an Xbox came with connotations. Xbox meant yeah, I play Halo. Xbox meant yeah, I play like the edgier stuff. Terminator 3's game adaptation where you like shooting up cop cars outside of a cemetery, you know what I mean? Whereas PlayStation came with connotations of like Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. PlayStation meant that. It meant, yeah, this is games. I love video games. But Xbox was like, I game, but like edgy. That kind of amplified in the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. And I'm pretty sure just died with the PS4, Xbox One era. I think it just, because they both, cross-platform became so popular, exclusives stopped being as prevalent. It did kind of migrate to where owning a PlayStation meant you liked narrative story-driven games, and owning an Xbox meant you liked sports games. But people, I think, identified with that a lot less, and it was more like, I don't know, the brand loyalty has kind of died out. I'll get First Light for the PS5. Wonder which console will house the best version. Probably the PC. I don't know how optimized your rig has to be to run it. We're going to find out. That you did also have a Nintendo DS Lite and a Game Boy Advance SP. Would love to have both again. Currently, you just have a PS Vita and a PS5. I have a PS Vita. I never play it. I literally only got it to play Killzone Mercenary for footage, and that was it. You bought a 3DS? That's awesome. GTA 6 is really good, apparently. How would anybody know? Has somebody played it? Are there like leaks or something? You're not Xbox. It's cubed. That's crazy, dog. Layton Games, Zelda remakes, Kid Icarus. It's still a box. True. The important thing is that it's a box. That's what matters. One of your favorite pieces of technology, jailbreak a 3DS. What are the benefits of jailbreaking a 3DS exactly? Here we can probably move out of this frame. What, you could just downloading a free game? Because you could just buy the games. They did let a dude with terminal cancer play an unofficial build. Oh, wow. And what he did he gave his thoughts, and it's pretty good. The trailer looks good. So here's the thing. I know that GTA is like the #1 most popular video game ever, but I've never been able to get into it. I don't know why. I've tried. I bought GTA 5 several times. I bought it on release day. I think for the 360. Pretty sure for the 360. It's crazy to me that game has lasted this long. And then I ended up buying it again on the PS4 when they did. It wasn't a remaster, but it was like a soft update, better graphics, first person mode, stuff like that. And I think I bought it a third time. And the third time I bought it, I actually forced myself to finish it and like complete it. And I just didn't really enjoy it. I mean, I got it. It was fun cover shooter, fun playground, but that's never really been the kind of game that compels me. I think I mainly just completed it because of the cultural relevance, and I wanted to be able to understand what the hype was about. I've never played another GTA game. I think I played like maybe 10 minutes of San Andreas as a child at like a friend's house who owned it. I never played GTA 1 or 2, but most people haven't. Never played 3. Never played San Andreas, Liberty City, Vice City. 4. I never played 4. I know 4 was really popular when it came out. But that's the thing is back in the 360 era, I had other games I was playing, man. I didn't have time for GTA 4. I was trying to level up my score on Reach. I was trying to prestige in Black Ops, and I don't remember. I think I got to like second or third prestige. I didn't play enough. Like some people were like 15th prestige in a month, and I'm like, how, bro? Just beat San Andreas a couple weeks ago. It's one of the longest freaking games you've ever played through. You're on a mission to beat the entire mainline GTA games, 3, 4, 5. Dude, if it's long, that makes it worse, man. Stores shut down. Physical games are getting... Oh, that's the benefit of it. Okay, I see. We won't be playing GTA 6 until you stop playing. Okay. 5 twice, beat 4 for the first time, and it's DLC a couple years ago on Xbox. You just got done with San Andreas and almost done with 3. Okay. So you're really having a good time with the GTA games then. That's cool. And I get it. You know, I completely understand. I see the appeal. That's the thing. I completely see the appeal. I get it. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit for me. I don't know what it is. Because I played Saints Row 2 way back when. And I liked that one a lot more. And then I ended up playing Saints Row 3, and I liked it a lot, but for totally different reasons. I thought Saints Row 2, I was like, I remember I played Saints Row 2, and I don't know if anybody here would get upset, but I played Saints Row 2 a while back, and I remember thinking to myself, it's like, this is what I wish GTA was. Like, I think Saints Row 2, like, nailed it. Oh, and Sleeping Dog. Like, I tend to prefer GTA clones over GTA. I find them more interesting. I think Sleeping Dogs is better than all of the GTA games, and I think it's one of the best games ever made. It's easily one of the best open world games ever made. 30 hours for a GTA game is insane. Is it just because the story is that long? Playing GTA 2 when it came out and all of the drama, pish drama, they are good in quality, but the freedom was too much. Oh, I see. Was the download? It took 2 days. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Still own a PSP and a few games and movies for it, but when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, you started playing with the original game back in the day. Oh, okay. So back in the OG ones. Excuse me. Those are some great GTA clones. Played Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is great. 100 story missions is insane. That's crazy, dog. I wonder if they're trying to do that. I wonder if that's why GTA 6 is taking so long. It's because they're trying to do 101 missions. A lot of missions have a ton of Oh, I hated it when they would do that. They'd be like, before you can do the next mission, you got to do this many of the open world activity quests. That stuff like that was one of the reasons I did not like sandbox games back in the day. I remember I played a good bit of Just Cause 2. That's another semi-GTA clone. Jack 2 is kind of a GTA clone. I would rather play that than GTA. What other GTA clones are there? Such a great game, especially of the over-the-top stunts that you can do when you're in a car. Dude, it's so good. The melee system is so satisfying. The driving is fine. The story is great. It's such a good game, dude. The storage that's in GTA? Oh, I see. Where you can find Keith David offering a tough choice. That's the 4th game, right? Just Cause is the best, especially the second one. The second one's the only one I ever played. I know they did 3 and 4. Never played them. I know I never played 1 either. But the second one I really liked. There are no GTA clones. Saints Row is not one either. Okay, but you know what I mean when I say GTA clone, though. It's just a figure of speech. It's not literally a clone. It's a figure of speech that essentially indicates that they are following a formula that is inspired by GTA, right? So it'd be like calling Killzone 2 a Halo clone. It's like, it's not. They're individual games with their own unique mechanics, stories, and offerings, but they have selected that template. It's like Dante's Inferno is not a God of War clone. But if you were going to tell somebody who had played God of War how Dante's Inferno plays, you'd be like, it plays like God of War. are absolutely worth a playthrough. Maybe I should do that on stream sometime. The Jack 2 video was the first one of yours that I saw in my algo. That was an excellent video. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, that one was tough. That one was tough because the plan at the time was I was going to devote most of my focus to my Quake videos. That was going to be my main series. And then I was going to do these 30-minute videos on the Jak and Daxter games. That was the plan. And the first Jak and Daxter video is around 30 minutes. I think it's 32 minutes maybe. And then I did Jak 2 and it was so meaty and in-depth and I liked it so much that the script, I just kept writing. The script just kept going, and that video ended up being like an hour and 20-something minutes. And I was like, okay. And then I went all in on Jak and Daxter, and that's why I haven't put out a video on Quake 3 yet. Jak 2 was so good, it completely changed my plan for my coverage. Just cause it's Resident Evil and Minecraft that's popular. Yeah, and Fortnite. I just want to know who I have to fist fight for Naughty Dog to let another studio make a Jak and Daxter game. You probably don't actually want that. I don't think there's a way to do Jak and Daxter today. I really don't. I don't think there's a way. At best, a remaster upscale maybe, but the PC thing that they're doing already does that fine. Better even. So you can't do Jak and Daxter today. It wouldn't work. I legitimately believe that. I believe it would not work. I don't think it can be done. How many remakes have we seen that can recapture the charm of the original? Not many. Taking that into consideration, do you think a sequel it would end up being a reboot? If they did a Jak and Daxter game right now, they would reboot it from scratch. And they tried that with Ratchet and Clank, and apparently it sucked. I didn't play it, but I heard from everybody that it was not good. Joshua Grant. Oh yeah, that's a classic. That's old. It's like my second video or something. Spiritual successor, Jak and Daxter. A spiritual successor would be better. Proud of that one. I love these long, deep dive retrospectives. That was right up my alley. I was big into Ratchet and Clank on PS2, and now for some reason never played the Jak games. That's what happened to me. I grew up playing Ratchet and Clank, and so I experienced the Jak games for the first time. You'll source a multi-million-dollar gaming company from the ground up with absolutely no prior business ownership experience, and we will see. There you go. Make it happen. Manifest it, brother. You have to believe that it can be done in order for it to be done. Yeah, the deep dive videos are a lot of fun, but I gotta be honest with you, they're going to become less frequent. It's just too much for too little. I'm migrating my format pretty soon to focus more on like outline off the cuff stuff. At least I'm going to try. We're going to see. There's a few more deep dive videos that I want to do, but I'm going to start putting out a different style of gaming, like covering games, because it's just brutal. It's so fucking brutal. And also, I got to be completely transparent with you. The last 3 or 4 I've put out, I keep getting comments telling me I wrote it with AI. And if you listen to the video, it's very clear that it's like my voice. I don't mean like my physical voice. I mean it's like my voice in the script. And I'm just coming to the conclusion that the oversaturation of AI written content on the platform is going to make almost all scripted videos feel AI-ish. All like scripted, like methodical, like written out videos are going to start feeling increasingly AI-ish, and people won't be able to tell the difference, and they're not going to want to watch them anymore. People are going to want something similar to that format, but they're going to want it to feel so natural and off the cuff. They're going to want to be able to hear the flaws to be like, okay, I know for sure that like a human being is talking to me. I think that's going to be the future. I've got a couple more scripted videos I'm going to do, and then it's probably going to migrate to more off the cuff. I've done several videos like that on my channel, where I outline it in detail, and then I just sit down and I do it as though we're writing the script in real time as I go. The Uncharted video, I did a video on Uncharted. It was done like that. It was off the cuff, going through, speaking, I'm basing it off my outline. It is essentially writing the script in real time, but because you hear more of the error and mistakes, it sounds more free flow. That's going to become the content I think that resonates with people in the future. I didn't know people dislike the reboot. Yeah, that's what I understood. Yeah. What do I think about the death of physical media collection of gaming? To be clear, I'm talking about how no one is going to collect games from the modern generation of consoles. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you clarified because I thought you would have meant something. I would have thought you meant something else. It's one of those things that just happens. It's like when I was growing up, it was super cool to go into like FYI or like media stores and sift through physical CDs, and take them home and listen to a full album. I remember in 2011, I think 2011, going into Best Buy. It might have been 2012 actually. It's 2011, 2012, going to Best Buy and buying a copy of Stand Up and Scream by Asking Alexandria and putting it in my Xbox 360 and ripping it to the memory and letting it play while I played. I know it was 2012 because I was listening to it while I played Modern Warfare 3, the arcade like zombies mode they had. It wasn't zombies, it was like an arcade mode. But I was listening to Stand Up and Scream by Asking Alexandria while I played Modern Warfare 3. I remember that day. Super cool, super fun. You don't do that anymore. Like that was already at the tail end of physical media. And then Spotify popped up and it was over. But it just happens, man. It's unfortunate. It's when I was a kid, like young kid, going to Blockbuster or this little local place called Action Video and looking through the VHS tapes was the highlight of my month. I would go in there and I would sift through VHS tapes, and I can remember vividly being like 8 or 9, going to Blockbuster and being allowed to rent a VHS of Dragon Ball GT. Grew up on Dragon Ball, huge Dragon Ball fan, and watching Goku turn Super Saiyan 4 for the first time on a VHS tape, watching Dragon Ball GT, and just being mind blown. All right, that experience is not replicatable. It's gone. It's gone. You can no more enjoy that experience than you could the pleasures of walking through the streets of Rome during the Roman Empire, and enjoying the lavish beauty of what that place looked like back then. Like there are certain experiences, no matter how meaningful and impactful, that just die as time moves on. And the collection of physical media is going to be one of those. It's gone. At least in the way that we felt when we were growing up. You can enjoy the memory. You can harp on it. You can try to preserve it. Some people are collectors and they still collect things, but it will never be the same. I choose to accept it and appreciate it in my past, be grateful for it, and move forward with what my life will look like next. All right, let's see. Rant over. What have I missed here? Physical media isn't dead. It's becoming niche like vinyl. Yeah. It's different. It's different. It's not the same though. It's not like the fact that it has become niche like vinyl. Like hipsters collecting vinyls in 2012 was a completely different experience from what it was like to buy vinyls when vinyls were the way to listen to music. It will always become something different. You trust the people I watch to not slop it up and slop it out with content. Yeah. I've done many off-the-cuff videos. I need to make sure that just outline. It's the perfect in-between. Got tons of vinyls and CDs, so I do a lot of my friends. I, too, am a 28-year-old person who exists. I used to listen to the Beatles while playing Modern Warfare 3. Okay. For some reason, a ton of the Revolver album, Boa, I was dogging on people while listening to Taxman. I'll tell you what. Legend rant, yeah. Appreciate that. But it's just true. Like, even what Scott is talking about, like collecting vinyls, buying CDs, that's a different experience. That's a different experience. It's an adjacent experience. That is the experience of trying to re-experience an experience that is now unexperienceable. If that makes sense. I know that's a weird way to say it, but that's what it is. It's not the same. It's a different thing. It's just it's an unfortunate I think about this. Say what you will about like the Marvel movies, and say what you will about Age of Ultron, which is one that people particularly don't like. But there's a quote from Vision near the end where Ultron tells him that humanity is doomed, and Vision responds that a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. Great line, great meaning. And to be fair, I think that's just kind of a watered down version of Achilles' quote from the movie Troy. I haven't read the Iliad since I was a kid, so I don't know if that's actually in the book. But there's a quote from Achilles in the movie Troy where he talks about the gods envy us because we are mortal and because we will perish, and you will never be more beautiful than you are now. That's true for memory and culture as well. And if the experience of sifting through VHS tapes in Blockbuster was forever, it would never be as beautiful to us as our memory of it. All right, that's what I have to say about that. You collect vinyl, but it is a non-essential thing and very different experience from what it was. True, yeah. What system do I have the largest collection for? I have somewhere in the ballpark of 60 PS3 games. I worked a job in high school, and all I did was buy games. That was my favorite console. Oh, well, great question. I own nearly no physical games. I tried to completely... I already like minimalist aesthetics. By the way, I don't like owning a lot of stuff. I do not own very much, and I'm fine with that. I want to own a few nice things. I don't want to own like a lot of stuff. So like the most games I ever had was probably when I was like 12. Whenever I went on my birthday, I went to GameStop right as they were about to stop selling PlayStation 2 games, and I just got a haul of PS2 games. And when I did that, I already had a bunch of 360 games. I have since then either traded out, sold, or thrown away all of them. I don't own them anymore. A couple of years ago, I had an extensive collection of Silent Hill media that included all of the games, but I sold that. I sold that collection for $1,000 on eBay, so I don't have that anymore. What I have left are a few PS4 games. I think Shadowfall, Minecraft. There's a Monster Hunter game over there. There's Until Dawn and like one or two more. I've got a few PS4 games. And then I have all of the Quake games on PC. So I've got the big box copy of Quake 1 still sealed. That's the only one that's still sealed. The rest aren't. I've got the big box version of Quake 2. Got the steel, or it's aluminum. I've got the aluminum physical big box case for Quake 3. Then I've got the physical box for Quake 4 and Quake Wars Enemy Territory. That's the games I have. That's all. And I have a copy of Uncharted Golden Abyss, or whichever the PS Vita one is, because a friend of mine let me borrow his PS Vita, and I was gonna send it back to him. He told me just to keep it, and it came with that. And then I own Killzone Mercenary for that console. That's all of my games. I'm pretty sure that I own physically. That's not true, because I have a case for my old Nintendo DS that's got like 6 Game Boy Advance games in there. Let me see if I can remember what those are. There's a old Dragon Ball Z game in there called like Taiketsu or something. Dragon Ball GT Transformation, Legacy of Goku 2, I think Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, and Herbs, Sims in the City for the Nintendo DS. That's it. I think that's legit everything I own physically for gaming. Love the PS3. Your PS3 has been alive and going on 17 years. PS3 is probably one of the best consoles. I was definitely a 360 guy, but I've grown to appreciate the PS3 a lot. Fat PS3. That's the only. I don't think I ever owned a slim. Surprised to hear that, but minimalist life is appealing. I think about that often. Good lineup of PlayStation games you have, though. I'll tell you what, though. There has been something that, if I ever manage to get married and have kids, I plan to keep them off the internet. And I plan to have a closet of curated media that they can access, and they can only pull from, because that's how I grew up. I had to sift through a bookshelf of VHSs that we owned. We did not even have access to internet because we couldn't get it. My family wanted it. The second high-speed internet became available, we got it. But I grew up just not having even access to it by happenstance. But I want to have a curated like media room. So I like pick out all of the best media that I think my kids could pick from. So then it would be worth it to have a bunch of physical Blu-ray, a bunch of physical like video games that they could choose from. It's like that's it. That's what you have. All of the best stuff. Just keep them off the internet for as long as possible. In a cupboard at home, I store what I consider to be the best of physical media. Cowboy Bebop, the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy, Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, all 3 seasons of Netflix Daredevil, for sure. The PS6 is going to have a companion handheld. I wonder if it will actually allow downloads, if it will be streaming like PS. It's got to be PS Portal. Streaming is the way they're trying to take the future. Your friend wanted you to repair his PS3. You've had it at your place for a year now, and you've been trying to give it back, but I haven't gotten the chance, and not for lack of trying. Is he just busy? These kids walking around blasting AI videos at full volume with their parents at the grocery store is just so cringe. That kid's content is also way more R-rated than parents know. That's my concern, dude. Like, the internet we grew up on, it's not the same as this internet. The modern internet has been hyper optimized to destroy your brain and possibly take advantage of you. Like, I think the internet is more dangerous now than it ever was when you could accidentally like stumble upon like a gore video or something. Like that was the big thing like before. It was like you might accidentally stumble upon like a beheading video. Now you might accidentally ruin your entire life with an addiction to some kind of terrible AI content or something. It's bad. I'm scared of the internet now. And, you know, even 8 years ago, I would have made fun of somebody for saying that. I would have been like, oh, get over it, dude. I was all about the internet and technology. It's gotten so... I think AI pushed it over the edge. Like, if I just scroll for 10 minutes, I will find multiple AI shorts that have been, like, optimized to fuck with your head. Just complete misinformation, too. It's brutal, guys. It is brutal. Kids' content is scary, highly inappropriate, weird. The internet now is a psyop. Man, there have been rabbit holes. Like, so many... I'm big on, like, watching, like, cool, like, creepy internet content from, like Nexpo and other, like, big creators like that on YouTube. I don't think he did one, but there's been so many videos exposing the fact that if you mess around on YouTube Kids and, like, type certain things, you'll find, like, evil videos. Like, straight up evil stuff. Just on there, trying to get it in front of children. Fucking terrible. I'd rather see 100 gore than consume one video. Yeah, facts. The ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 is so relevant regarding the internet. Dude. You're not kidding. What was it? Selection for Societal Sanity. I thought that shit was unparalleled in its prediction 10 years ago before AI stuff was even happening. And now that it's happening, it's aged concerningly well. And it's just past April 30th. What does that mean? Does that have relevance? Because in that speech, Selection for Societal Sanity, the AI of Colonel even says, he's like, we realized we can't control the content that people are seeing because there's such free access to it. So the way we handled it is just to overwhelm them with so much content that their brain stops trying to discern what is meaningful and what is not. We got to go watch that. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's too long, but there's one relevant section that I think we have to go watch just because it's relevant to the conversation here. And look, I've spoken on AI a bunch in these live streams just because it's the thing right now. It's very popular. And I always try to say it's like I'm actually not explicitly like I don't soapbox about AI like don't use it or this or that or blah blah blah. I understand people who use it. I've messed with it and found it to be exceedingly good for research because it can pull a bunch of sources really quickly and then you can go and discern them. The content generation I find to be concerning, but it's unstoppable. The amount of water it's using is dangerous. The data centers are not good. Like if somebody asked me, do you think AI is good or bad? I'd say bad. Somebody said, are you relatively pro AI or anti? I'd say anti. If somebody asked, do you think people should use it? I would say, if you can figure out a way to use it to better your life, do it, because you may as well go back in Roman history and try to convince the writer of Greek mythology that Pandora really could get the monsters back in the box. All of these people who are making their crusade to get AI stopped, they are screaming. They're screaming at Zeus to put the monsters Pandora released, which he knew she would, back into Pandora's box. Not only would he not, even if he could, would he not? He can't. It can't be put back in the box. And if it could be put back in the box, all of the people who could do it actively do not want that to happen. This is going to be the future, so figure out a way to reconcile with it. You can call me black pill or whatever, and I don't think that's a good thing, by the way. What you guys? Oh yeah, I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling up the speech from MGS2. Hang on, let me see if I can get to it. I recommend going and watching the whole thing, by the way, but actually, fuck it. It's less than 8 minutes. Let's just watch the whole thing. I apologize if you want to go watch it on your own time. Go do it, but I'm going to pause this throughout, and we're gonna react to it. Okay.
Raiden, are you receiving? We're still here.
How's that possible? The AI was destroyed.
Only GW.
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not what you'd call human. Over the past 200...
For context, guys, this was written in like the year 2000. I'm pretty sure. I think this game came out in 2002. At the latest, this was written in 2001, but it was probably written in the year 2000, if not earlier. So I would just keep in mind that this was written that long ago. Is that we're in the perfect point in time in between not being too primitive or too advanced? Correct. And I hope people are being hyper aware of that reality and considering what it's going to look like when we cross that threshold.
100 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans 4 billion years ago. The White House was our primordial soup, a base of evolution. We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? As long as this nation exists, so will we.
Cut the crap! If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Jack, don't be silly.
Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
Okay, a little more context. Remember, the internet had existed for like... Technically, it had legitimately existed, I think, for about 10 years at this point, but it had only been like readily being like used by a handful of people, not many, for like 5 or 6 years at this point. Like, not much. Dial-up was still the thing, and the most you could get is you could go to a .com website and maybe order a book. You know, the internet was, or you could like post on forums. YouTube would not even exist for another like 5 years after this game released, depending on if it was released in 01 or 02. I can't remember. So that's how ahead of its time. YouTube did not exist when this game came out. It would not exist for several more years. It's already talking about AI. So this next part is important. Peter Glue says, I'm probably going to get off the stream as I have some work to do. Well, I appreciate you tuning in and hanging out, man. It's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to probably end the stream in about 10 minutes here anyway, so I'm just going to wrap this up.
Of the human genome was completed early this century. As a result, the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike...
So that is actually true. That's like a true thing. That's how a lot of history has been moved on. The whole was selected, processed by individuals, and then passed on.
Genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness.
That's okay, we're getting into it now. Just I want you to think about AI videos. I want you to think about every time you see an AI video or something like that, remember this line and what's going to follow, where he says trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness.
Never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right? You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context.
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Do I have to say anything here?
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Nobody is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
And what's really funny, that line, not with a bang but a whimper, that is a key tell in the way that artificial intelligence LLMs write. AI LLMs like to do this thing where they say X won't do X, it will do Y. It likes to say what something won't or isn't, and then say what it is or will be. Just thought I'd point that out. Contrived. Evan doesn't even have to say anything. This is already exposed the few. Yeah. Create context, convenient half-truth. Yeah, you like the right to exercise free will. Contrived context, man, virtually undetectable by people with critical thinking, ability to see past the guy. Without the critical thinking to see past the guys. Correct. That's right.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
Let me ask you guys something. If you pull up ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, and you ask it to recount for you a list of things or to summarize something, that you're asking that LLM to go and sift through all of the available information on the internet and then provide you with a summary of it. You're asking it to decide what involved in that information you're about to receive. And then you're moving forward with that. The thing it's saying that AI is going to do, it's doing now. This isn't like this is going to happen. It's happening now. I have used various of these LLMs to see what they could do and mess with them, and I've done it. It does this now. This is already happening. Whether or not it's happening with a self-awareness from the AI or any kind of malintent, don't know. But it is happening.
But is that even your own idea?
Or something Snake told you.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths, self is just something used to preserve those positive emotions that you occasionally feel.
Another possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that would endow you with some sense of strength.
That's crap!
Is it? Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best. And you got there all by yourself.
Oh, what happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashioned, every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault.
In denial, you simply resort to looking for another, more convenient truth in order to make yourself feel better.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
The individual is supposed to be weak, but far from powerless. A single person has the potential to ruin the world.
And the age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought?
Where she said, now we think for you. You've been seeing people very concerned that students are using LLMs to figure out what to say on their quizzes and in their essays, or they're even using LLMs to like navigate conversations with other people, like on text message and stuff. They're like, I don't want to have to figure out what it is I have to do to navigate this, so I'm going to let an LLM sift through mountains of resources that to know what works, and it's going to think this for me.
Human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Ocelot was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire nation. Of what interest would a single soldier, no matter how able, be to us?
The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation.
Okay, there's more to this. The full rant is like 13 minutes long. You can go watch it on your own time if you really want to. But I think you get, and the rest of it gets more relevant because that's when it starts talking about selection for societal sanity and how, I mean, they kind of covered it. If I'm remembering correctly, they go more in depth about how important it is to be selective of what content people could consume based on, you just go watch it for yourself. Go watch it for yourself. Great game in its own right. But that one scene, people thought it was profound and ahead of its time like 15 years ago. Now it's scary and almost prophetic. What more can you say? Understand it's a war of information, just an overload of content in every form. Yeah, and it's easier than ever to overload in that form. Surf the Kali Yuga, brother. Shout out to Max DeRat for popularizing this profound scene. I'd love to talk to him someday, especially also being autistic yourself. Okay. Yeah, maybe shoot him an email. He's probably responsive. Is cautionary for call for discernment. Discernment is not something that is easy. And that's what makes it so hard. Like, the things you have to do in order to get ahead of this kind of thing are so much work. You have to exist twice, basically, because you have to do all of the things that you would normally do in a regular life, and then you have to do an equal amount of like self-actualizing and improving to the point where you're just gonna feel like it's hard, man. How do you have relationships with people, try to start a family, work a full-time job, save money, and also study and become knowledgeable and learn how to discern and learn history and we are up for one of the greatest. We are about to face one of the greatest calls for the indomitable human spirit that I think we've seen in human history yet. And I think on that, it's time to call it a stream. It's been great. I typically only stream for about an hour when I do these. This will be, I think, fingers crossed, this will be the last stream before I've put up my black panels here and make this background set look a little bit better. And I've swapped from my webcam, which I'm using now, to my new camera, which I bought. I have to go get a couple of things and hook it up and get it running. Very excited. We're going to see how it works. I have it on a tripod here, but I think I'm going to swap from that and do something different. We're going to see. All right. I'm excited about it. Big finale. Yeah. That's a heck of a way to end it off. Don't black pill about it. Don't be scared of AI. I would say that. Don't be scared to use it here and there where it makes sense, where you can. Just focus on being a human, though. You know, lift weights, get outside, make connections, talk to people. Not computers, talk to people in person. You got to do whatever you can do, all right? Read books, good books, read old books. Excited to see what you do with the set, Evan. Me too. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait to show it off. Hopefully, it's looking like my next stream is going to be Monday. Might be Saturday, might be Sunday, depending on what I want to do. There's a balance to everything. That's right. Find the balance, stay yin yang. The most said phrase in the Holy Bible is be not afraid. That's God. That's God talking. That ain't me. That's all I got for you guys. I can't wait to see you in the next stream. Thanks so much for tuning in, hanging out. I appreciate Goji Gary for becoming a member. That's awesome. We're having fun. It's always a pleasure to chill with you guys and have a good time. And I'm looking forward to streaming now is the thing. Like back in the day, for most of this channel, I didn't like streaming that much. I would do it because I thought I had to, but I don't know, since I've moved and I've been doing them earlier in the day, because I used to stream and I'd be exhausted after, but I was streaming at night. Since I've been streaming earlier in the day, like I finish, I'm only doing it for an hour, so I'm not draining myself. I'm feeling pretty good. I really have a good time with these. I like them a lot. Balance of everything. Yeah. Be not afraid. Well said. Renewed your gym membership after chatting with you this in the live stream last week. Let's fucking go. I haven't been to the gym in over a week. I'm planning to go today. My arms are getting smaller. I got to get back in. I got to get a pump. We cannot afford to decay and atrophy in this modern world. It is more important than ever to actualize, to take care of your body, to take care of your brain. We have to work twice as hard or the AI is going to, it's going to take over your kids. If you plan to have kids, you have to be so actualized that you're able to both work, be yourself, and also be the parent that your kids need. You lads are awesome to chill with. I say lad and mate a lot, but I live in freaking Kansas. Just love Australia. We have some Australians in the chat sometimes. Good people. Good people. Let me find a proper outro song. I think I know which one I want. This is the one. All right, you guys take care. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next live stream.